Hello, my babes and my barbs. So this is the reading about, are we at the brink of Dramageddon 4, with the whole Trisha Paytas, Shane Dawson, Jeffree Star kind of blow up thing that has happened. So I believe in my Trisha Paytas reading, I've done so many readings since then, I said something about her having another public, sort of fallout with somebody. So here we are, in the middle of that. And then I also think it's important, we've talked about before, sometimes the things that we're seeing that are going on with celebrities or these famous people or whatever you want to call them, that's playing out with them, is often a bigger picture of something that we've all gone through or a bigger lesson. And I think that, I know from talking to a lot of you this week, and I've recently gone through this myself too, a lot of us have had to realize that maybe some friends that we were a best friend to or were such a good friend to were not exactly a friend to us in return when it came down to it. And, I know Trisha has done a lot of stuff, that wasn't great to people, but hearing her describe what happened and everything and just the pain in her voice, that she really had to come to the realization that maybe she was more of a friend to Shane than he was to her, was really heartbreaking, because we've all been there at some point or another. And as we level up and we start to grow and move towards better in our lives, people like Shane Dawson's and Jeffree Star's do not need to come with us when we are on the journey to becoming a better person, whether that means just in general or spiritually or whatever. And so sometimes these people need to be revealed to us so that we can know, hey, you don't get to come along with me on the next part of this journey. Doesn't mean that we can't someday make up and reunite, but until you are in the same place that I'm at, and we're going to the same place, sorry, I'm turning right and you're still standing right in the middle of the road back here behind the, crossroads, and it's time for me to move. I can't stand here in traffic anymore. So I think that, it's sad, but I also think that this is something that it seems like a lot of us are going through at this time. And, there's a bigger picture and a bigger lesson there in that sometimes people just don't deserve to be in our lives anymore. So we're going to go ahead and jump in. And for those who are new here, I am Psychic Bella Love. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We do giveaways for every so many subscribers. And if we reach 1,500 today, we might do a subscriber giveaway over on Station Head this weekend. But we will also be doing a big one here on YouTube at 2,000 subs. And then make sure you do follow on Station Head, because that's where we answer all the juicy stuff and talk about the things that we can't on the tube. And if you wanted your own personal private reading with me, all my information is below as well. And you can use coupon code Barbie, all in caps, for 25% off your reading with me. That expires at the end of the month. So, Spirit, please join us in answering questions we have in regards to Shane Dawson and Trisha Paytas. Thank you, Spirit. We ask only with the intention and purpose of serving, not with any other point. Thank you, Spirit, for joining us. That's all we ask about this. So I'm just going to start this off with Shane Dawson and Trisha. We don't really need to give the whole dude that set all this shit off, Hair by Jay, any shine. He's a nobody anyways, and he's obviously a trash-ass person that you want to get on the internet and attack women in such a nasty, vile way and then dox her on top of it. We're good. What is there to read on you anyways? You're a piece of shit. The cards, we don't need the cards for that. Jeffree apparently fired him, so at least there's that. I just want to see what Spirit has to say for the first poll, and then we'll ask questions and see what specifically And if you guys didn't know why Shane Dawson is included in this, it's that Trisha said that she had, when this whole Vegas trip where everything went down happened, she said that she told Shane and he didn't believe her. And then, obviously things have come out since then that have proven otherwise, and that she was telling the truth about that situation, because other people have, had their own stories about it. And apparently Shane, decided that he was going to side with Jeffree over Trisha. And so she had to cut him off as a friend. And so, we're just kind of looking at this now and seeing what. So there's definitely, the underlying energy here at the bottom of the deck, the Eight of Swords, Page of Pentacles, and Five of Cups, is that Trisha definitely did feel like, she had herself trapped in a situation where she thought Shane was one person and he wasn't. He chose money over her, which has led to some heartbreak and, hurt feelings. And the advice with the Five of Cups card, because if you guys notice, the cups are in the front and that's what the person is focused on, but they're not seeing the full cups that are still in the back. And so, Trisha does have real friends in her corner like Gila and Ethan that she should be, more focused on, rather than the trash people that she's basically cut out of her life that didn't deserve to be there anyways. Because really, I mean, I know, again, I'm going to say this over and over. I know Trisha's not the best person and she's made her own mistakes. But even at that, Jeffree Star still does not deserve to be friends with somebody like her because she's still better than him, right? Because it's a birds of a feather flock together kind of thing. And Trisha is trying to change herself and do better and work on herself and grow. And so because of that, she needs to focus on the people that will help her to be that way, and not the people from her past that will only keep her in that past energy and behaviors. So she feels like, Shane lied to her and betrayed her. He told a lot of people stuff about her too that she had only told him. I know she briefly mentions that, but it goes way deeper than that, because what Spirit is saying is, ever since she even mentions that, there's been more and more people coming to her and being like, hey, Shane told me this about you and I just never said anything because I didn't want to cause drama, but like 4 years ago he was saying that you did blah 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 blah, and it's, some of it's exaggerations, some of it's rumors that he heard from other people, but some of it's literally outright spilling like Trisha's like deep secrets that she didn't even tell other people, because I know Trisha will get on the internet and tell us all about some of the crazy stuff that happened in her past, but those are things that are in her past, so it's like she works through it or she's okay sharing that. This is like stuff that, like, while was happening in the moment, she's trying to deal with it and process it and isn't ready to share it with the world. And Shane's like, oh, Trisha, oh my God, yes, like, I get it. And then as soon as, like, he gets off the phone with her, he's picking up the phone, calling Gabby Hanna and being like, so, hey, girl, guess what Trisha just told me, like, that kind of shit. And now it's coming to light, and Trisha's just like, I feel like it is really hurting her seeing how deep this actually went. Like, it was bad enough that you didn't believe me about Jeffree. I could overlook that. It was bad enough for you to even say, like, oh, Jeffree's been standing beside me, even though I'm the one who's publicly been defending you. It was bad enough, all the other stuff, but just hearing more and more and more and more, like, things you've told people, stuff you've done behind my back, it's just like, holy crap. Like, how much can you, like, really betray somebody? Like, I really stood for you and you just screwed me over. So see, right now with the World card and the High Priestess, that's also, just continuing on with that there is so much that's coming out. And then the death and the judgment card of her trying to figure out, like, what do I do going forwards, you know, because she's obviously got to heal from this. It was a deep wound. Shane will try to apologize to her and make up with her behind the scenes. But she's not going to just forgive him and forget very easily. Because I feel like Trisha really just wants to move on with her life. She's really looking with this Hierophant, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Sun card about healing and finding like real happiness and just surrounding herself with better people. So we'll ask the cards, you know, like, are they gonna work things out? And then we'll ask some of the deeper shit about, you know, like, is Dramageddon gonna continue going on or what? And then we'll have to do a part 2 for anything Jeffrey related. So, Spirit, please tell me, are Trisha Paytas and Shane Dawson going to reconcile this friendship? Thank you, Spirit. And you know what's crazy? Okay, do you guys, I don't know if anybody watched The Hills. I watched like the first season of it, and then I think I watched Heidi's wedding because like after that I was just like whatever, you know. But you know how like Lauren and Heidi like really weren't like okay, like they like were just like, okay, we're not gonna beef anymore, but we're never gonna be besties again. But it was still like to Heidi, like, my journey started with you, so I want you there on my wedding day. And Lauren just like kind of gave her that moment. If Trisha goes to Shane's wedding or Shane goes to Trisha's wedding, it would so be like one of those situations, because that's what's like, I don't see Shane going to Trisha's wedding though. It kept showing me like if Trisha goes to Shane's wedding, she's just being a Lauren Conrad to his Heidi, but it's not because they're actually gonna make up. Like, I mean, you know, they'll make up in the sense of like, oh, we'll be okay, but not in the sense of, oh, we're ever going to be best friends again. I mean, that's just my initial thought on it. We'll see what the cards have to say, but it's just, that was the vision that I just kept getting. And it's so funny because I'm like, I haven't even thought about that show in so freaking long. I know they had some sort of like reboot. I never watched it. I saw some clips on Perez Hilton's page because I know he was on it, but that was all I saw of it. Okay, so for the time being, Trisha is just very like good. Like, she's secure in her situation and her decision to completely walk away from Shane and the friendship. Again, here is, you know, she's seeking other things right now. And he's already tried to apologize to her, and he will again. But right now, at this moment, it's going to be refused. She just feels like there has been way too much pain and heartache to even think of forgiving him right now. Anything that he does try to do, you guys, with this World card and this Magician, followed by the High Priestess, she's going to feel like it's manipulation. And she's going to feel like you're doing this, like, because I keep feeling like Shane might end up coming out and making some sort of public statement. And she's going to be looking at it like, you are doing this to save face. You are not doing this because you really care about me. Because if you truly did, and if you truly had spent all this time working on yourself, you would have realized that I was a good friend to you this whole entire time, and you haven't been to me. So it will just make her angrier, to be honest with you. If he tries to do something like that, it's not going to make anything better. I mean, again, it's like she just keeps looking back and being like, man, I should have cut the cord actually sooner. And then here again, you know, she's got the Queen of Cups crossing the Chariot and the Temperance card of, I'm going off to heal myself and go focus on the things that make me happy. My business, my new family that I'm building, you know, everything that I've got going on. So she's she's going to stay in this Queen of Swords energy towards Shane for a very long time, you guys. Very long time. Like, I don't see, like, if it was like, oh, they're going to make up in a year, like, that would have shown up. But they just showed her still being away from him. So, let's see. Spirit, is this the end of the drama between Shane and Trisha? Yes or no? Spirit, thank you. Is this the end of the drama between Shane and Trisha specifically? As long as Shane doesn't try to make some big public apology. Because Trisha's just, it's like I said, it's only going to make her angrier because it's like, she's just looking at it like you're trying to change public perception, how people view you. You're trying not to lose money and subs. You're trying not to, like, dig yourself a deeper hole. Because she just feels like at the end of it, it's still like whatever Shane has to do right now after the decision that he's made. Spirit's saying that she solely thinks everything that he will ever do is based off of money. She thinks money rules Shane now. That's her opinion of him. So, but if he doesn't do anything and he just lets it go, she's just going to let it go. She might make some little comments here and there, but I don't feel her, like, really getting into a big public spectacle fight with him. It's really going to depend on what he does. So now let's see. Spirit, is Shane going to make a big deal out of this? I really think so, because he's kind of weak and he'd rather just kind of hide his head in the sand and not involve himself. I think, you know, unlike James Charles, maybe Shane has learned his lesson about, you know, getting too involved in public things that are not his lane. I just have to say, Shane always just looks like he doesn't shower frequently, and it kind of grosses me out. Alrighty. He thinks Trisha made it a bigger deal than it was. He definitely was worried about his finances. There's something here about Shane has been steadily losing money, you know, and even though he's been releasing things like merch still with Jeffrey's company, it's like that is kind of the only money that he personally has coming in right now. His fiance is making money, but his fiance doesn't make the kind of money that Shane was making. So it's like they definitely have had to tighten their belts around the house. And did he just buy that house like not too long before all of this stuff started popping off? Because it's talking about like him actually being very scared with this Queen of Pentacles and this Six of Swords about losing things, financial things, or not having the finances to provide for it and it being taken away from him. So that is what is spurring him to sort of have to be in that Queen of Pentacles energy of, it's not, oh, I'm in charge and I'm making all these decisions. It's, I'm really like focused on money because I have to depend on Jeffrey right now. Because here's this King of Cups, you know, the cups being the water sign, Jeffrey being the Scorpio. He's carrying, you know, Shane financially, basically. And so Shane does not want to lose that. So I don't really... He thinks like that Trisha's just gonna get over it, you know, and they'll like make up behind the scenes. Again, the only reason that he would actually say anything would be because Trisha's right, the public perception with this Knight of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups wanting to keep, you know, people on his side, because with this Page of Cups, he had a planned return. Knight of Wands, he was going to come back, and now this has sort of pushed things back to where he feels like he has to you know, kind of delay that. We'll still see him, you know, on Ryland shit, hear about him in that way, but it has delayed, you know, the way that he's gonna make his return, or the time that he's going to do it. He's gonna wait and see what Trisha does. You know, Queen of Wands with this Ace of Swords, he's kind of waiting because he thinks that she's not done yet. So it's sort of, I'm going to see how you respond or how you act. Am I going to have to make this big public apology, or can we just leave it alone? So I don't really feel like we're going to get anything out of him. Unless, like, again, he feels like the fans are going to demand it of him. So, Spirit, is there any final messages in just regards to Trisha and Shane? Thank you, Spirit. Oh my God, there's this cat. I don't know if it's boy cats or girl cats that walk around whining because they want to get some. But this cat, this is the third day in a row, and it just goes around the entire complex whining. I'm like, oh my God. First of all, it's January. I thought like animals made it in the spring. Secondly, I'm like about to go to the shelter and go find a cat and bring it back and be like, here, have fun. I know I'm horrible. I should be joking that I'm going to go get the cat spayed or neutered instead, but it's a joke. That cat won't even let anybody get near it anyway. Alrighty. Shane, you need to be very careful about who you're aligning yourself with, because this is Jeffree Star. You know, with this Devil card and this Five of Pentacles, it is talking about, you know, Shane being so worried about money that he's holding on to the wrong people, the wrong things, doing the wrong stuff. And the person that you are so concerned about is somebody that has absolutely no problem with cutting people off and walking away from them. And so you need to bear that in mind before you sign over your undying loyalty to this person, because I do feel with this Page of Swords and this Chariot, there's going to be a split between the two of you at some point. And when that happens and you're, you know, seeing the light, going and trying to work things out with Trisha, it's going to be too late. Pick the wrong friend, dude. So anyways, guys, I love you. I'm going to cut this off right here, and we will be back with part 2 to look at Jeffree Star and, you know, what is coming for him, because he's been in a lot of little dramas lately, and I feel like there's about to be a bigger dramageddon around him soon. So we will see. Anyways, I love you all so much. Make sure you stay tuned for part 2, and I will see you in a bit. Bye, guys.